Greetings everybody and welcome to the 1.60 update review. 3 cars, a few new events, and some other things as per usual. So, with that said, let's get into the content, beginning with the cars. That sprightly noisemaker is the Citroen BX19 TRS from 1987, a car that I have never heard of until now, and pretty interesting to look at. So, let's see what we can do with this. Starting with a wide body here, which I'm certainly having a hard time seeing what it adds. Maybe something to the rear fender there. A little confusing for me, but as far as custom parts, what do we have here? We've got front bumper here where you can kind of remove this plasticky kind of look there, or the rubbery I should say. As for the sides, seems like just removing the plastic paneling there. You can remove the badges on the rear there, so there's that option. And of course, these wings, which you have none. You have this wing here, and this ducktail spoiler, which kind of reminds me of multiple cars from the 80s there. So it's pretty interesting options all around. As far as on-track performance is concerned, it's a surprisingly good car. My first drive with this was more me being in a rush for the weekly challenges, guys, so I never really gave it the fairest chance, to be honest. And actually driving it by itself now without being in that rush, it's actually not a terrible vehicle. Sure, it's no Lotus Elise or any other sporting vehicle there, but it's far from terrible actually. It's not as terrible as I said it was. I think I was just in a rush there. You give it a chance and they'll actually surprise you. That chunky noise was the Peugeot 2008 Allure. Now, I have to say the Peugeot designs from around 2021 or so, I have found them pretty good looking. You know, these are very dang looking cars there. And this I find to be a pretty looking car. I think, well, SUV, but still. One of the more attractive ones, I would say at least. So, what can we do with this one? Well, starting with wide bodies again, you're not really going to get much out of this one. You know, there's some widening, but I wouldn't exactly call it sporty per se. At least my eyes isn't seeing anything too interesting about it. Now, as for custom parts, on the other hand, the front here, you can kind of remove that little thing that's in the front. You can also put this front splitter on. It's kind of tiny, so not a lot. As for the sides, interestingly, you can remove the roof rack, so I guess if you want something smooth, you can do that. And then there's that side paneling stuff. Here, you remove the rear window tint and the badges and the windshield wiper, which is interesting. It's an option if that's what you want. As for the wings, well, you've got this small dinky one here, which is a little weird. Then you also have this. So you may not necessarily be able to give this car the full DKR experience, but you got something. So there's that. As far as actual performance though, this is something that has shocked me in the exact same way the Mazda from a few updates ago did. You know, it's really incredibly good at the handling. I was pleasantly surprised, and I actually kind of enjoyed throwing this around a bit. And I gotta say, there is potential to really turn this into something. Looks wise, there's not a lot you can do, but performance wise, I think there is some serious potential to be covered this year. It's really interesting, and I think give this a chance. That noisemaker is the Lancia Delta HF Integrale rally car, the star of the update. So, for fans of GT4 who remember this car, this is back, so you're going to be happy to see that. It's the DDA Oriola car from the Tour de Course, which is an asphalt race, hence the wheels. So, what can we do with this car? Not a lot. You can add these additional fog lamps here, so when you do some night racing stuff, you can do that just as the real car has. As for the rear, these flaps, you can have them open, you can have them closed. An interesting detail. I tried to look at the other cars that also had flaps to see if you could do that, but unfortunately it seems like it's just this car for the time being. Maybe a future update? Anyway, as far as on-track performance, the car is, well, unsurprisingly, incredible. You know, I mean, it being in its tarmac rally spec, naturally, it's gonna be spectacular performance there. But it's fun to drive. It's a fun thing to throw around. So if you want to pretend you've got some hill climb events or some rally events, this is definitely going to be a fun car for you to throw around. At full speed. If only we had an actual point-to-point thing, something like Pikes Peak. Anyway, some of the things added. One includes an extra menu. It's been quite a bit since we have an extra menu here, but we do have one. And if we go all the way down, one for Mercedes-Benz. Completing this gives you a 6-star roulette ticket. It requires the Unimog, which is very cheap, the 300 SL Coupe, a bit more up there, but not that much more, and then of course, unfortunately, that car in the middle, 20 million credits. But collect all that, and that 6-star roulette ticket is yours. So next are the events added. The first of those being the World Rally Challenge Group B from Colorado Springs. So that's one new event. Another new event added, of course, is the European Sunday Cup 400 from the Watkins Glen on the short course. And then finally, the third event is the Sunday Cup from Willow Springs International. So that's it for those events there. And then, of course, we've got our usual edition of Scapes. And for this, interestingly, from Scotland. It's a country that tends to not really have a lot of featuring and racing games outside rally games there, assuming they even bother. Not a lot of representation just in general, really. So, it's kind of neat to see all that. So as far as the other stuff, here's the engine swaps for the following cars here: the Lexus RCF, the Nissan Silvia Ks, the Fairlady Z, and the Subaru BRZ. So, if you're one of those that loves doing engine swaps, those are all the ones you need to know about right there that are in this update. So feel free to give those experimentation if you've got the coin to do that. As for the physics simulation model, interestingly, the Nissan GT-R LM Nismo has had its hybrid system adjusted. Now, I gave this a try, and I have to say, it's made quite a difference. This is officially something you can fight the other LMP1 hybrids with. Like, it's a fighter now. Just, gosh, wish in real life that's exactly what it could have been. And as for controllers, obviously, for you Fanatic users out there, the issue with the encoder function apparently has been fixed, so give that a try, confirm if it's done that. And almost forgot, so you want to go to gifts. This is where you will find your rewards for the viewer campaign for both Manufacturers Cup and Nations Cup. So, likewise, you'll have the tickets here for the winning manufacturer, which in this case is Subaru, as indicated by the VRZ GT300 here. And of course, like so, you'll have it for the Nations Cup and that Aston Martin Valkyrie decorated in the winning country, which in this case is Spain. So, feel free to go around and look for that. Overall, an update that doesn't really move the needle. The cars aren't really that big a disaster like people always make it out to be, because it's not a Svet little sports car, but the updates could use a bit more spice though. But that's it for this review. If you like these, like, share, subscribe, and feel free to go to that undocumented thread link in the description. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time.